Hello, good people. Hello, good people. I am Dr. Hollie Kelly, and this is Dr. Kelly's perspective for Thoughtful Thursday. You have well, maybe you do. I was going to say, you have no idea how excited I get for Thursdays. Um, for Thursdays, when we talk about a book that has impact. And let me just say this before we even get started. So many of you are getting back with me on the books that I'm offering to you, or the podcast, or and how they're impacting you, how they're making a difference for you. And so I absolutely love to hear that, things are growing you up and it's all good. Hey, hello for who are joining me. Hey, Miss Mary, I think I see Patricia up there. And so today, okay, now you already know I have a little bit of, I can drink some Exciterade on some mornings more than the others. And this one, I have been waiting. I have been waiting to bring this to you because I was digesting it slowly but surely. But none that I bring, I always offer you what I consider the very best that has made a difference in my life, or is making a difference in my life. So I'm not going to bring you anything that's just like, oh, well, yeah, that was cute, or that was okay. I'm only going to bring it to you if it was like, wow. So this week's Thoughtful Thursday selection, Building Capacity by Pastor Sino Agueze, Agueze. Building Capacity by Pastor Sino Agueze. Okay, so I know so often, and I think more so in some industries than the other, you can put your spiritual life and your spiritual growth on hold, put it on the back burner because it's not anything that you're encouraged to talk about. You're not encouraged to, experience it with others on the job. And so, for 8 or 9, 10 hours a day, however long we're at the job, that's a closed off segment of our lives sometime. Or some of us have learned out of habit, either we were taught it or it was caught. We've learned to put God in a box and only bring him out on Sundays or Saturdays if you worship on. So we've learned to box him in. We've learned to only bring him out and discuss him when it's a spiritual matter. And the rest of Monday through Saturday or the rest of life, you're struggling. We doing everything and anything to just survive. And we don't invite God into every area of our lives. Well, your spiritual health is one of the 5 lanes that I call that we use to make up our life: our physical health, spiritual health, financial health, relationships, and career. So this week's selection is specific to, it starts out specific to your spiritual health. But what I'm telling you is, because the God that created us is way too big to be boxed in and only concerned with what you're doing for a couple of hours on a Sunday, maybe a Wednesday night Bible study, maybe a choir rehearsal. And other than that, he's going to back up out of your life. He's too big a God to do that. He's just, that he don't roll like that. So he is concerned with every area of our life. And I'm telling you, this book has really, talking about a thoughtful Thursday in our last June, close to the last day of the month, as we go through and review our June, looking back over what we've done before we jump off into the last half of the year. This book, The Building Capacity by Sino Agueze. Let me just read to you. He gives us, he said, and it is absolutely for those who are like, if it don't have no word in it, I ain't interested. I get that. It is chock full of the word. Again, good morning for all who are joining me. So I'm going to very quickly read. I always go long on Thursdays because I just love books and I love sharing the impact that they've made on me. But 5 laws of capacity. Just listen to this. I promise you, this book will have you, I'm not saying rethinking your entire life, but I'll speak for Dr. Hollie Kelly. It has absolutely made me think more about where I'm giving my responsibility away. You've heard me talk before about God is not going to do for us what he's already given us the capacity and the ability to do, or what he already told us to do. If he already gave us the authority to do that. So it's not as if I'm just going to sit down here and I am hungry as can be, and I'm waiting on God to drop some fried chicken from the sky. That is not about to happen. He has given me the intellect, the wisdom, the strength to get up and go um, get or create a job so that I can have the money to buy my food so I can eat. I don't have to sit over here starving while I'm waiting on God. So the balance of what's my responsibility, what's God's responsibility. So it really, I'm telling you, I began this at the beginning of the year. Did I date my book? Yeah, January 2019. I began this at the beginning of the year, and I have been feasting on it over and over and over again throughout the year. What am I talking about for Thoughtful Thursday? Building capacity. Sino Aguese. So let me just read what he has: 5 laws of capacity. First law of capacity. Everything that belongs to you gravitates toward you when you build the required capacity for it. And the things that have gravitated toward you are kept by continued building of the capacity. Okay. Second law of capacity. Whatever good you receive by default gravitates away from you if you don't build the required capacity to handle it, as well as the continued capacity to keep it. And what I'm telling, okay, let me just keep reading. Third law of capacity states God can do no more or less for you than the capacity you create. Even that statement right there, and then when he goes deeper into why he says what he says, and the scriptural reference to found where he gets his foundation from, even that thought is mind-boggling for a lot of us, because we have been taught, we have grown up to think that God is sovereign and that he controls every aspect of everything you do, every choice you make, everything you say, every decision you make, every way you walk. He is all in control of that. Well, this will just have you thinking slightly different. And so you'll find that it will begin to show up in your life. The fourth law of capacity: things are and shall remain as you are, not as they are. You know how I often say you can only see from where you stand? You can only see from your perspective until you deliberately pick yourself up and go to a different perspective, a different viewpoint, a different vantage point. Things are and shall remain as you are, not as they are. And the fifth law of capacity states God has done all he's ever going to do. He's waiting on you to create capacity, because creating capacity is a personal responsibility. It's not a gift of grace. Okay, my little time is already running slim, but I knew as soon as I got started in here that I was going to bring this to you on a Thoughtful Thursday. Hey, Deanna, I knew that I was going to bring this to you. I just didn't know when it was going to fit in. But as we review, I am strongly encouraging all of us who recognize the need to increase and grow and keep healthy our spiritual life, because we recognize the role that God plays in our life. We know and recognize and are aware of the need for him. The building capacity. Oh, and the subtitle is, and you thought your life was outside of your control. It's much easier, it's much more comfortable to say, well, hey, Mess on Fire. You must have gotten my email. And so you thought your life was outside of your control. I'm just saying, I'm just offering to you that what we do, how we do, Mary, I'm telling you, Mary, you got to let me know. It has changed it even has changed how I pray. It's changed how I operate, because I recognize that some of that stuff, I'm waiting on God, he waiting on us. Okay, he's given us Anyway, I'm just saying. Let me give you one line and oh no, that's just it. It's already time. Okay, listen. My Thoughtful Thursday selection for this last Thursday in June is Sino Agueze's Building Capacity. Agueze is Agueze. Agueze. It will have you dining, like fine dining, where you don't rush through no little quick burger and fries, where you take your time and you got like a 7-course meal. Yep, it's like a 7-course meal where you take it and you digest it and you oh my goodness, delicious. Understatement. That's all I'm saying. That's my Thoughtful Thursday selection for the day. Please let me know how you are enjoying it. I have zero doubt. But listen, that is my offering to you today. We got a couple of days left to wind out the review before we leap off into July in the second half of our year. Make it a thoughtful Thursday. Let's not operate on autopilot today. Until next time, take real good care of yourselves.